A very good evening and welcome to State of Business, our television's primetime business news bulletin. I'm Adusha Thavappalakumar. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka needs to liberalize its economy to achieve sustainability, states Professor Sali. Sri Lanka's budget transparency among lowest in South Asia. And today on Top Stories, Associate Professor at the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, Professor Razin Sali says in order to make Sri Lanka's economy an export-oriented economy, the country has to overcome three major impediments. During an exclusive interview with our television, Professor Sali also noted that unless Sri Lanka liberalizes its economy, trade and foreign investments into the country will remain stagnant.
We need to get public spending under control. We need a much more efficient tax system to raise sufficient revenue. We need to control our levels of public debt, particularly debt that's owed to abroad, foreign commercial borrowing. We need to make sure that our debt management is sustainable. So that's the first big challenge, because unless that happens, nothing else will happen. The second big challenge, I think, is to open up the economy to the outside world. In other words, the globalization of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka remains a very highly protected economy. Unless we liberalize the economy, we're not going to see a big boost to trade or to foreign investment. The third big obstacle is essentially the difficulty of doing business in Sri Lanka for locals as well as foreigners. There are just so many obstacles in the way, high and low.
When asked about his opinion regarding the reforms that should be done in the agricultural sector of Sri Lanka, Professor Razin Sali made the following remarks.
For Sri Lanka to get to that next level, as you put it, I think requires a much bigger services economy with a lot more foreign involvement and private sector involvement. Manufacturing, I think, less potential because Sri Lanka has missed the boat on mass manufacturing. And there may be a few niches out there, but I don't see Sri Lanka having a big future in manufacturing. Agriculture, there are promising niches, certainly. Sri Lanka should be in the game of agro-processing, fisheries. It's not. We have a very inefficient agricultural sector, a very unproductive one, because it's been so protected and parts of it have been so subsidized. Now, of all those three broad sectors of the economy, services, manufacturing and agriculture, agriculture is the most politically sensitive. So the necessary reforms to make agriculture more productive, such as reducing and removing subsidies, reducing very high levels of tariff and other levels of trade protection, getting the state out of the way to allow room for the private sector to invest and create jobs in agriculture. All of those things are desirable, but politically very difficult.
Let's take a look at more news after this short break. Welcome back. Sri Lanka has scored 44 out of 100 in the global release of the latest Open Budget Survey, which estimates 115 countries on the openness of their budget process. Having placed second to last in South Asia, Sri Lanka holds the position of 60th among the world countries and is tied with Pakistan in the 2016-17 budget process. According to Verite Research, even though Sri Lanka has improved in providing information on revenue, debt and expenditure, the fall in appropriateness and quality are considered as drawbacks of this score. The Open Budget Survey is conducted every 2 years based on public participation in formulating the budget, disclosure of budget documents and budget oversight. His Royal Highness Prince Edward, Earl of Wessex and Her Royal Highness, the Countess of Wessex arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday on a 5-day visit to focus on the long-standing UK and Sri Lanka relationship, the Commonwealth, education and young people. During the visit, their Royal Highnesses will meet young people overcoming challenges from a variety of communities across Sri Lanka. They will meet abled and differently abled young people following the Duke of Edinburgh Awards scheme during their visit to the Ceylon School for the Deaf and Blind in Ratmalana and witness how the scheme helps the communication impaired integrate into society in meaningful ways. The royal couple will also meet with young athletes and para-athletes who will represent Sri Lanka at the upcoming Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. Their visit comes just 2 months before the UK hosts the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London and allows the UK to celebrate Sri Lanka's Commonwealth links and the important role young people play in developing its potential. Their Royal Highnesses will represent Her Majesty the Queen at the 70th anniversary celebration of Sri Lanka's independence on Sunday. Let's take a look at the stocks after this break. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a mixed note today. The all-share price index gained 22.04 points to close at 6,498.45, and the S&P SL20 dropped by 4.13 points to close at 3,743.17. The turnover was 902.6 million rupees and 28.4 million shares were traded. Up next is Forex rates. With that, we are wrapping up State of Business for the day. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time with more latest news. Until then, take care. Good night.